Picture this. It's a Tuesday night. You're standing in the frozen aisle of your local grocery store, and you're staring at fish, salmon, shrimp, a couple sad-looking tilapia fillets wrapped in plastic. And you grab one, toss it in the cart, and you don't think twice. But here's the thing nobody ever stops to tell you. There are more than 33,000 species of fish swimming around this planet right now. 33,000. And us? We eat fewer than 20 of them. Regularly, I mean. Fewer than 20. That's not a rounding error. That's 99% of the ocean's menu. Completely ignored. Skipped. Left off the plate. And your first guess is probably, well, we just eat the ones that taste good, right? Nope, not even close. The real reason is way stranger. And honestly, a little disturbing. Because some of those fish would wreck your body from the inside out. Some would put you in a hospital before dessert. And a few of them, ancient humans tried them once, and then never, ever went back. So stick with me here, because by the end of this, you're going to look at the ocean completely differently. That last part especially. It kind of haunts you. Let's start with that number again. 33,000 species. To put that in perspective, that's more than every mammal, every bird, and every reptile on Earth, combined. The ocean isn't some empty blue desert. It's a jungle. A crowded, chaotic, ridiculously packed jungle of life. And yet, when researchers actually crunched the numbers on what humans eat, they found something wild. Just 10 species make up over 90% of all the seafood we consume. 10. Salmon, tuna, cod, pollock, shrimp, tilapia, catfish, crab, herring, anchovies. That's basically it. That's the whole show. Everything else? Every weird deep-water creature, every neon reef fish, every strange thing with too many teeth. It's just not on the table. But why? Why would we ignore that much food? Well, buckle up, because reason number one is brutal. Some fish in the ocean are poisonous. And I don't mean spiky and scary poisonous. I mean silent, invisible, sitting on your plate looking perfectly normal poisonous. There's this thing called Ciguatera poisoning. You've probably never heard of it, but it's been messing with humans for thousands of years. Here's how it works. Certain reef fish, barracuda, snapper, grouper, they snack on smaller fish that eat toxic algae. And that toxin? It doesn't hurt the fish at all. It just quietly builds up in their flesh, silently, waiting. And then a person comes along and eats it. Within a few hours, your body starts doing things that sound made up. Cold water suddenly feels like it's burning you. Your fingers tingle and go numb. Your muscles ache like you just ran a marathon you don't remember running. Your heartbeat gets weird. And in the bad cases, paralysis. Now here's the part that gets me. You can't smell this toxin. You can't taste it. And you can't cook it out. Heat does nothing. Zero. And there's no antidote. None. The World Health Organization estimates around 50,000 people get hit with Ciguatera every single year. 50,000. And because there's no test you can run before dinner, entire categories of reef fish just get quietly avoided. Not because of some law, because of memory. Generations of people learning the hard way and passing it down. The ocean taught our ancestors a lesson once, and they never forgot it. But honestly, that's only half the danger.
Because even the fish that won't drop you at the dinner table can still hurt you, just slowly. It's called bioaccumulation, and it's kinda terrifying once you understand it. Okay, picture a tiny shrimp. It soaks up a teeny amount of mercury from the water. No big deal. Now, a small fish eats 100 of those shrimp. Then a bigger fish eats 100 of those small fish. Then a shark comes and eats 100 of those bigger fish. See what's happening? At every single step up the food chain, the mercury piles up, concentrates, multiplies. So by the time you get to a big predator at the top, its flesh can carry mercury levels hundreds of times higher than the water it's swimming in. That's exactly why health agencies straight up warn pregnant women not to eat shark, swordfish, king mackerel, or tilefish. The FDA put out those warnings after the studies confirmed it. The bigger the fish, the more dangerous it gets. And that one simple fact, that's it, quietly wiped whole categories of ocean life off our menu. Forever. Shark meat, for example, is so loaded with mercury that eating it regularly can cause serious damage to your nervous system. Ancient coastal folks knew to avoid certain fish. They just didn't know the why. Now we do. But hold on, because some fish don't poison you slowly. Some hit you fast, and in a way that's, let's just say, extremely embarrassing. Meet escolar. It's a sleek, gorgeous, deep-water fish. Sometimes it even shows up in restaurants labeled as white tuna. It looks clean, it tastes rich and buttery. People actually loved it for a while here in the States, but Japan banned it back in 1977. Italy banned it in 2002. So what's the deal? Escolar is packed with something called gemphilotoxin. It's a wax ester, basically a type of fat that your body flat out cannot break down. Your digestive system doesn't have the enzyme for it. It just can't process the stuff. So your body picks the fastest solution it's got, and it is not subtle. Within hours of eating escolar, a lot of people experience, how do I put this politely, a sudden uncontrollable oily situation in the bathroom for a while. The fish actually earned a nickname in food circles. They call it the castor oil fish. And people who've been through it describe it as one of the worst experiences of their entire lives. And the wild thing is, the fish wasn't trying to hurt you. Its body just stores a fat that human guts were never built to handle. Evolution just never prepared us for it. And escolar's not alone. Dozens of deep-sea fish carry fats, enzymes, and compounds our bodies were never designed to deal with. Which brings me to the strangest place of all. Because most of the ocean's life, you've literally never seen it. You're only looking at the surface. Here's a stat that always blows my mind. The ocean covers about 70% of the Earth, but 95% of its total volume is deep sea. That's everything below 600 feet. And down there, it's pure darkness. The pressure would crush you in seconds. The temperature sits just barely above freezing, and the creatures living down there look like they crawled out of a nightmare. Blobfish, barrel eyes, fangtooth fish, viper fish. You've seen the pictures. They're horrifying. But here's what nobody mentions. The deep sea isn't just hard to reach, it's basically inedible. A lot of these fish have soft, mushy, jelly-like flesh. Their bodies are built for extreme pressure, so the second you drag them up to the surface and that pressure drops, their cells start falling apart. The flesh turns soft and waterlogged. Some species literally dissolve within hours of dying. Scientists who've tried eating deep-sea specimens describe the texture as wet tissue paper. Yeah, there's an entire parallel world of life down there, and none of it's on your plate, because it was never meant to be. So then, why these 20? Why did we land on the exact fish we did? And here's the twist. It was never really about taste. It was about survival. Cold, hard math. Think about the fish we actually eat. Salmon, tuna, cod, herring. They all share the same traits. They swim in huge, dense schools near the surface, they're easy to catch in big numbers, and their meat is packed with calories and stays good when you dry it or salt it. Ancient fishing communities all over the world, totally separate from each other, landed on the exact same little group of species, because those were the ones actually worth the risk of heading out to sea. Early European explorers describing the cod off the North Atlantic said the fish were so thick you could practically walk across the water on their backs. That's why cod fed the world for centuries. Not because it was the tastiest thing out there, because it was the easiest to catch. Same story everywhere humans touched the ocean. What ended up on our plates wasn't the best the sea had to offer. It was just the smartest bet for somebody with a hand-woven net 10,000 years ago. And here's the kicker. We never went back and reconsidered. Not once. And this is the part that actually gets to me. Right now, the ocean is in real trouble. Those 20 species we picked out of 33,000, we're fishing them into collapse. North Atlantic cod crashed so badly in the 1990s that Canada shut the entire fishery down, a fishery that had fed Europe for 500 years. Gone. Bluefin tuna, their numbers have dropped over 90% since industrial fishing kicked off. Wild salmon runs across the Pacific are hitting historic lows. And meanwhile, we're surrounded by nearly 33,000 other species, tons of them abundant, tons of them nutritious, just sitting there. Untouched. We built our entire food system 10,000 years ago. We picked our fish based on what one person could drag out of shallow water with a simple net. And we just never changed our minds. Not because the ocean ran dry, but because we never bothered to look past the 20 we already knew. The ocean didn't fail us. We just stopped asking what else was out there. Right now, in cold, black water, in places no net has ever reached, in schools of millions no human eye has ever seen, the rest of the ocean is still down there, still waiting. We just forgot it existed. And the real question is whether we remember in time.